Welcome to the Beauty Business Strategies podcast. I'm Christy Hardy, and today I'm here with Mr. Neil Ducoff. And Neil, what are we talking about today?
What pisses me off?
Yes! Neil, what drives you crazy in the beauty industry right now?
You know, this is a resurfacing issue that for all the years I've been in the industry, which I was thinking before, I think it's like 50 years.
Wow, you've seen it all.
Yeah, where were you 50 years ago? Okay, keep going. So now this sounds so simple, but it is a problem that is rampant through the industry, and it has been for as long as I've been in it.
Yeah.
And it's this concept of I hire a person, hire a stylist, service provider, doesn't matter. Hire a service provider, and they got to build.
Yeah, the word build.
They
right?
got to build.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was listening to something the other day, and, you know, they're talking about, well, you know, we have our commission sliding scales and whatnot, and has all the, you know, if you're doing this and you do this much, and they can actually, you know, say, okay, so if I want to make this much, I have to do this.
Yeah.
And there's this thinking that, and I'll come out and say it now, what if the thinking's wrong?
Right.
And we've been doing it wrong for a long time. And you can make up your own mind on this,
yeah.
But I'm gonna poke a pain point, and that's pay commission. They get a piece of what they do.
Yep.
The commission is the motivator.
What is it?
It motivates some, but it doesn't motivate all.
Right.
Call it the 80-20, 80, all right, call it 60-40.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. Even if it's 60-40, 60% are motivated, you got 40% that the commission isn't, you know, I need this much time between appointments.
Yeah.
You know, don't put me under a lot of pressure, you know. And then there's other people that they'll double, triple, quadruple book, and doesn't bother them in the least. But the issue comes down to this concept of building individuals.
Yeah.
And we've got the terminology wrong. It's, yes, you want to build, grow an employee, move them up through your company so they can see advancement and opportunity for personal growth, career growth, income growth.
Right.
So you want to do that. But the thinking is so narrow that get the clients to keep asking, the clients that you do to keep asking for you. So
yeah.
Your column is full, so we can raise your prices.
Right.
So when your column's full, then we raise your prices and blah, 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 and going down that route. The problem is, and again, I've been saying this for years, owners, look at your appointment book. Look at the names across the top of the column,
Yeah.
the top of the book. And then look at all the customer appointments underneath. Who are those customers loyal to? Are they loyal to your company, or are they loyal to the name at the top of the column?
Yep.
If your thinking is grow individuals, you know, get busy, grow your, you know, build your request rate, get busy, have them come back to you, so you can build the individual. You're trying to manage your company by growing columns on the appointment book.
Right.
And it'll come back to bite you in the butt like big shark bites, like Jaws.
Yeah.
There will be no butt after that bite. It comes back because we know the turnover rate in the industry is brutal.
Yeah.
So whether they're going to be going to a suite or going to rent a booth or leaving to open their own place or going down the street for a better deal, whatever the issue, it's been the revolving door for so many years.
Yeah.
And then you hear owners go, I just had $100,000 walk down the street.
Right.
I had a couple $100,000 walk down the street. I got to grow my business again, which brings up all my old jokes like, do you qualify for membership in the Chain Salon Association because you built your company multiple times in one place? And it'll catch up to you in a minute. But the point here is you've got to grow your company and your brand and create client loyalty to the company. Yes, they can have a preferred service provider, but if the nature of your company is a client books an appointment, comes in, checks in at the front desk, and it's just the process of how do I get to that chair and that stylist to get my work done, and everything else is just taking care of the other parts of the service, but my loyalty is to that person.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean clients have to always come back to see other people, but and I heard all the arguments for years that, clients won't try anybody else, and if they have their favorite person, well, if that favorite person dies, they find another favorite person.
And we want them to do that within our business, because quite often people think, oh, I was Neil's client, so now I can't go see Christy because now I'm being disservice to
I'll
one
only come in on
person,
Christy's day off.
Yeah,
I don't want Christy to see me in someone else's.
We make clients think crazy.
But that's what we train clients to do.
Yes,
because it's a subtle shift, but how do you create a team-based environment that clients can feel embraced by, where there is a comfort level trying other people? Maybe if it's just when they need that appointment and they can't get in with their favorite person, that they're comfortable trying someone else. But it comes back to, we always talk about, what's the $500 haircut look like? I'm telling you, you got to raise the price. $10,000 haircut. And what does that whole experience really look like? Go to a $20,000 haircut. Go to $50,000. What does that entire experience need to look like? And how systematized is your company to create a complete experience for the client to go, wow, I am just blown away by the business and the service provider that took care of me.
Right.
So please look at your own company, do the acid test, look at your appointment book, look at the names across the top, look at all the names underneath, and if the names at the top disappeared, would the names underneath disappear too?
Right.
Chances are, for most of you, the client names will disappear. But we have a non-compete.
Doesn't hold
Great,
much,
that's
right?
terrific. You know what? They got your customer names. They're friends with them on Facebook and Instagram. And
in this digital age,
and non-competes are, I feel that they have a place, which is, keep your information proprietary. But how about this? Just go far away. But again, enforcing non-competes is a whole nother conversation. I've seen many that have been enforced, but the courts are more employee favorable in recent years, but if you don't want a non-compete keeping an employee in your company, and hoping the non-compete does what you didn't do to create brand identity with the client. What did we do to make you want to come back to us? Not there's a paper that you signed 5 years ago that is keeping you here because of whatever's in the non-compete. Build your company brand. We have coaches here at Strategies. Clients go to a coach. There's times where coaches, their coaching is stressful. And at times a coach says, it's time for me to do something else. For 30 years, we've been in business, and But when a coach leaves, damn near all the clients stay with the company.
Absolutely.
And because it's the company that is here to service the client. And it's same philosophy in your business. We are here for you, but what does the complete experience look like? And how do you create better conversation? And do employees, are they comfortable coming up? Wow, that's a really great haircut you did on Mrs. Smith in front of Mrs. Smith. Or wow, look at that haircut that Bob just did. Wasn't that a great haircut? Hey, if you ever can't get in with me, go see Bob. But get the building individuals out of your head and build your company.
Yeah.
You want to build individuals? Great. It's like spinning plates. Welcome to our company. Let me get your plates. Build. Get your plate. Okay, you're booked solid. Let me get the next plate going.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got to wind you up again. Let me get the next plate going. Let me get another one going. Great, you're busy. Then I got I got to go back to one. I got to get you to.
Right.
And building individuals does not build your brand.
No. Or your client experience, I think, too, right? Like something has to sacrifice if we're so focused on building individuals. Is it the client experience? Is it the business experience? Is it, the brand experience? Something's got to give if we're so focused on that,
I've sat in salons and you see a client, example comes to mind, client is in front of the retail display. Yeah. It was an Aveda salon. So that big, lots of retail.
Yep.
That's Aveda. That's great. But you need professional guidance to figure out what is best for you.
Absolutely.
And this client is looking at it like overwhelmed. And you could see that client doesn't know what to buy.
Yeah.
There's a difference between shopping and someone knowing what they need to buy.
Sure.
And that was confusion.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you go over there and help that client out? She looks like she needs some help buying some retail. That's not my client.
Ooh, that doesn't feel so good.
But that's alive and well in most of your businesses.
Yeah.
That's not my client. That's not my problem. My problem are the client names under my name.
Yeah. Yeah.
All this other stuff. That's why we talk team-based company. Everyone's responsible for every hour the company has available for sale.
Yeah.
I will repeat.
Do it again.
Everyone's responsible for every hour the company has available for sale. That empty slot over here affects company revenue, affects what the company can and can't do, and that may be your raise.
Yes.
And hey, what happens when your book is full and you have a waiting list? Raise their prices. Great. How many different price levels do you have in your company?
Right. Let's stress everybody out.
I want to go to that. Well, that's going to cost more.
Right.
This one's going to cost less. And you can, if you want to have multiple price levels, you need to have enough employees in each price level. But you're not building price levels. There's still, here's what your average service hour brings in.
Right.
Maybe some are higher, so the higher ones make the average higher. The lower ones bring it down. Yeah. But build your brand. Build customer loyalty to the company. Encourage clients to try other service providers. And that's really hard to do in a commission environment because then you hear, oh, no way. That's my customers. Right. Commission environment. Away from my paycheck. Hey, we just hired 2 new stylists.
No.
You just hired 2 new stylists. They're going to start getting all the new customers. They're the enemy.
Right. You're pitting your own team against themselves.
And instead of, wow, we just hired 2 new stylists, and hey guys, we got to fill up 2 more columns on the book.
Yeah.
Because if we get them busy, we raise revenue, more money for payroll. Yeah. Build your brand. Yeah. Get your head away from building individuals and trying to run your company 1 column at a time. Great. It's booked, they got a waiting list, great, move to the next price point. you can still play with price increases, but it's a bigger conversation. Salon, the mechanism for running salons has been so oversimplified that it's hard to look at a different way to do it.
Yes.
Because it's different.
Yes.
It's different, and I'm not used to looking at my company that way.
But those little changes can make big, huge improvements.
Build your brand.
Yes.
If someone decides to leave, they're going to leave, but you shouldn't see the mass exodus. Sorry, I'm talking too fast. That mass exodus when someone leaves. You're going to lose some, but you shouldn't lose a lot.
Right.
The days of, I just lost, $100,000 or $200,000, whatever the amount is. And then if they're leaving and they're taking that much with you, what's wrong inside your company? Because if you build it that same way again, it's going to happen again.
Yes. Very true. Very true.
Build your brand. Build your company. Think wider, not narrow.
Yes. No column vision. Right?
No
I remember
column vision.
you teaching us that one of the first times I ever did a strategies class. You told us, stop with the column vision. And that has stuck with me for almost 20 years. So.
And you ran a great salon for 15 years.
I did. It was great because we had a brand. We had clients who were committed to us. Us, not me. It was we. So thank you for your education on that. Make sure that you guys are building your brand and you are sticking to making sure that the client experience is so top-notch that they will not want to leave your brand, your business.
And if you want to see another episode of What Pisses Neil Off, let Christy know.
Yes.
And we can do What Pisses Neil Off.
Those are my favorite days. Thank you, Neil. And if you have any questions or if you want to see more of Neil or maybe some outtakes would be even better, join us again for our Beauty Business Strategies podcast. Thanks so much.
Take care.
Thanks again for listening to the Beauty Business Strategies podcast. If you like this episode, be sure to hit follow to learn more about how strategies can help create more fun, profit, and growth potential for you, your company, and your team. We invite you to schedule a free 60-minute strategy session by clicking the direct link in the description of this episode.